Hi everyone. First of all, I'm very happy and honored to be published in Taiwan and to get the chance to reach such a large amount of readers as the Chinese ones. So thank you very much for the attention and the sensibility for this novel of mine. I've been studying the migration issue, which I consider the biggest issue of our times. The fact that, let's just try to consider that only last year, 65 million people moved from one side to the other of the world. So this is the biggest issue of our time. So I really wanted to write a novel through the story of a protagonist that tried to explain this huge issue. It was 6 years ago, and I was near Somalia, at the border between Somalia and Kenya, and I was working on another story which became my next novel called The Great Future. I was there with a guy who used to be a warrior for the Al-Shabaab, the fundamentalists, and I spent almost a month there with him. It was the 19th of August 2012, and I was having breakfast in my hotel that morning, waiting to work with this guy, and I heard the news from the TV, and the news said that Somalia didn't win anything at the London 2012 Olympic Games, but this person from the Somalian Olympic Committee said, where is Samia Yusuf Omar? And he said, this girl that we brought to Beijing 2008 Olympic Games, and she dreamt to win London 2012 Olympic Games, and in order to achieve her dream, she drowned in the Mediterranean Sea to get to Italy. So I'm Italian. I was there near her house, and she wanted to come to my house. I flew there, and it took her 18 months to try and reach my country, and she never did. So when I heard this news, these words from the news, I knew at once that I was gonna put all my effort, all myself, all my talent, and everything I have into this story, because it was the story that I was looking for. The biggest obscure thing during the making of the book was trying to confront with what I called the voyage, the trip, which is the migration route that all migrants take from Africa to Europe. I met her family. I met her sister, who was a migrant before Samia, but I met between 30 and 40 guys and women that made the same trip. I met them here in Europe or in Italy, and I tried to work with them, to listen to their stories, and to try and understand what happens during this incredible trips, these unhuman trips. They get punished, they get beaten, they get put in jail. Just consider that Samia's trip lasted for 18 months. 18 months. So everything can happen in these trips through Africa, especially when you get to Sudan and Libya. So this was the most difficult and the hardest part of the book. The most memorable feedback since published, well, this book was it's been such an amazing book for me, such an amazing experience. It's been published all around the world, and it became, in many countries, more than a book. It became a social phenomenon. People calling their daughters Samia, runs organized in the name of Samia, sports centers in the name of Samia, concerts in the name of Samia, musicians, famous musicians writing songs named after Samia, painters, sculptures, many dozens of theater adaptations. We are making an international movie out of this book, and the UN nominated me Goodwill Ambassador for the Agency of Refugees. And what they do every year in August, they organize a run on Samia's shore, on Samia's beach in Mogadishu, in the name of Samia. And that's a way to celebrate and remember her name. Being an UN Goodwill Ambassador, it's an honor again, and gives me the possibility to go sometimes in mission with them, and in parts of the world where there's war, and so in parts of the world where the war brings people going out of their countries. As I said, 65 million people moved only last year in the world, mainly because of the war. So seeing, like in true life, this phenomenon, meeting the people, listening to their stories, sitting there and talking to them, and see the war with my own eyes, and hear the war with my own ears. It's something very important for a writer, and it's something very important to understand the world that we live in today. I hope that Taiwanese readers will enjoy this novel, which is an emotional novel, and it's a novel in which, through emotions and through the story of a young, talented woman who dreamt to run. I hope that Taiwanese readers will understand more of the world that we are living in today, and will understand more about the reasons why people leave their countries, are forced to leave their countries, and what happens when they leave their countries. They are not normal trips as we are used to today. They don't fly, they cannot show their passports, they cannot buy a flight. It's incredible and unhuman trips where they become like Greek heroes. They put in danger the only thing they have, which is the most important thing, which is their life, knowing that they could never arrive in a destination. And they do that just in order to achieve the most important thing for them, which is becoming who they are, which is what all of us try to do in our own lives. So I hope you enjoy this novel, and thank you for your attention, and see you. Bye bye. And I hope to meet you in person one day. Bye bye.